In today's news, beginning in the United States, the Pentagon is tapping into A1 artificial intelligence to increase strategic metals market transparency. So, the program called the Open Price Exploration for National Security, acronym OPEN, aims to facilitate price, supply, and demand forecasts by developing technologies like machine learning models. So the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, acronym DARPA, we're talking about US Department of Defense, so lots of acronyms. So DARPA, an agency of the US Department of Defense, is seeking ways to increase transparency in the critical minerals and raw materials markets. It's only quite recently that most countries now consider rare earths, a national security issue as well. They've, dual values, civilian and military. So the Pentagon argues that issues regarding pricing and inaccurate supply and demand forecasts threaten the readiness of the department to respond to supply chain challenges. This is according to the press release, which was released back in October, which back then received, really very little attention. Now, to address these issues, DARPA announced a partnership with the US Geological Survey to facilitate the development of helpful technology. So the Open Price Exploration for National Security, OPEN program, plans to analyze commercially and publicly available cost information to construct transparent structural price predictions and use advances in time series forecasting, economic modeling, and machine learning to create accurate and precise supply and demand forecasts. A presentation describing the program stated that the project's goal to revolutionize the construction and decimation of price, supply, and demand predictions and forecasts. So the open press release added that critical materials producers and buyers may use the estimates Open publishes as a transparent information source. However, documents retrieved by Reuters claim that the Pentagon's efforts are not intended to set an official US government metals price or replace the London Metal Exchange and other futures markets. And now to Estonia in Europe. So Australian mining group Hastings Technology Metals is looking into building up processing capacities. So rare earths from Australia processed in Estonia into components for the European automotive industry. That's basically the goal of Hastings Technology Metals. So next year, the Perth-based company will begin mining rare earths in the north of Western Australia and processing them into a mixed concentrate, which is one of the first stages of processing this group of raw materials. So this and other future steps could also take place in the Baltic region. Hastings has announced that it will carry out feasibility studies in cooperation with the Estonian government to set up corresponding plants. So a non-binding letter of intent has been signed to speed up planning and approval procedures and explore the possibility of financial support from the state. Hastings sees Estonia as a crucial building block for developing a supply chain tailored to Europe, from the mine to the magnet. Now, here, the Canadian company Neo Performance Materials operates the only plant separating rare earths in Europe. The construction of a magnet factory is planned, and Hastings, in turn, holds a 21% stake in Neo. So both companies have signed a non-binding agreement to supply and process rare earths from Hastings' Yangibana project in Western Australia. Now, also in Australia, some breaking news this morning. Australia's resources minister will visit South Korea and Japan this week to discuss investment opportunities. So the trip is accompanied by the government releasing a catalogue of 52 investment ready projects in Australia. So Australia continuously seeks new international partnerships under its recently unveiled critical mineral strategy. So in order to develop strategic projects and leverage its natural resources. So to this effect, Resources Minister Madeleine King will visit Australia's second and third largest export markets for resources and energy, Japan and Korea. This week she'll visit them. Now, according to a press release, King will meet with trade ministers from both countries in the capitals of Tokyo and Seoul, and afterwards convene with executives from major industries and utilities. So Australia already has critical minerals partnerships with both countries, and the visit will reinforce Australia's role as a stable and reliable export partner. Ambassador King said. Now, Australia and Japan have been collaborating under the Japan-Australia Critical Minerals Partnership since 2022. So South Korea and Australia signed a memorandum of understanding on cooperation in critical mineral supply chains in late 2021. So King's visit to the two Asian countries is accompanied by the Australian government unveiling a prospectus of 52 investment-ready critical minerals projects. The aptly named Australian Critical Minerals Prospectus highlights investment opportunities in projects across the critical mineral supply chain, from mining to processing and other value-adding fields. The prospectus will also be released in Korean and Japanese, highlighting the importance of the two countries for Australia's critical mineral sector. So that's it for today. That's all we have. That's quite a bit of news for one day, and we'll see you tomorrow.